Hey everybody, Mashiach here. Hope everybody's doing okay today. Mashiach, potential Mashiach. You know how it goes. Anyway, today I'm just kind of looking at what was it? 5 days ago, 6 days ago. I told Sisi and the Egyptian people, they got to open up their border within 21 days. Yeah, that's where we're at. You got to open up the border to the Gazans in 21 days. If you really look at it, if you really look at what's going on there with Israel, Israel's doing the right thing. It's all you can say. Since 1948, when following the Arab-Israel war, Israel took control of the Gaza Strip. They administered it under military rule. So Egypt has had their hands in Gaza for a long time. Deep. They've controlled it all. They even controlled Hamas. This is Egypt's big problem. Those tunnels, they stretch into Egypt, believe me. A lot of the arms come from Egypt. Sisi's got his hands, man, filled with blood right now. And I'm surprised the Egyptian people are not crying out to open up those gates and let's get this resolved. Because this is Israel's land. So Egypt took control of the land. So military control. They had military control of Hamas from the beginning. If you really look at it, even though the money's coming from Iran, Egypt supported it in their own down low way. Let's not look at us because, it's the Sunni Shiite theme. Shias are off the wall. I mean, Sunnis, you could at least, show them what you have, and hopefully they'll come around to seeing the truth of it all. Shias, they're a hard nut to crack. Anyway, Egypt did not annex the territory, but rather treated it as occupied territory and administered it through a military governor. So it's been military all along. They've had a foothold in Israel that long, in brutal. It ended in a brutal massacre of the Israeli peoples on October 7th, 2023. So, Israel has every right to say enough is enough. And right now, Egypt is the one that's to blame for all this bloodshed. Because Egypt's had enough. Or Israel. That's it. They're done. Why even bother to go on? So anyway, during this period, Egypt facilitated Palestinian refugee resettlement in Gaza and allowed Palestinians to work and study in Egypt. So they're still getting all their brainwashing on how much they have to hate the Israelis from Egypt. And Egypt just washes their hands in the whole thing. It's the Gazans. But, this is all Egypt. All of it. Egypt needs to open up those gates. This is terrible what's going on. Israel needs to take control of the Gaza Strip and have this end completely. All men, All men need to be divided to make sure that we get every last member of Hamas. I hope Israel figures it out, because not one surviving member of Hamas needs to remain. Not after this. They're too brainwashed by the Egyptian elect. And that's what's been going on. Egypt established the All-Palestinian Protectorate, this is 1948 to 1959, including the All-Palestine government as a client state in Gaza. So they were a client state. This is where it's all coming from. In Egypt is acting like, oh, we ain't opening up the gates. We're going to keep them. They're keeping them there because they got a military foothold there. That's Egypt's proxy. That's their military foothold. That's their one-eyed Dajjal on the island. This government, while largely symbolic, claimed jurisdiction over all of Palestine, but lacked real authority and was heavily influenced by Egypt. Blame Israel as much as you want. Go ahead. They were having a peace party on October 7th. When they were attacked, all those people brought over back into Gaza. If you really want to say it, it's Egypt that's keeping the hostages in those tunnels. Egypt needs to open up those gates to the women, children, and elderly. Leave every man behind. And let Israel sort them out on who's Hamas and who ain't. And that's the bottom line. Yeah. Give them hell, Israel. Don't let up. No way. The All-Palestine government, which is really a proxy of and made up by Egypt, was eventually dissolved by Egypt in 1959. Okay, so now they're dissolved. And, on their own government, their own little country. No, but Egypt has nothing to do with this now. No, it's just them. Just Hamas. Hamas fighting Israel through Egypt. And for what Egypt has done, they should be the first ones opening the gates to the women, children, and elderly to what they have made. They should be apologizing to the world. During the Six-Day War in 1967, Israel captured the Gaza Strip from Egypt. Okay, there we go. Even though they gave up control, Israel had to take back the land from Egypt. However, even after the Israel occupation, Egypt continued to play a role in Gaza, particularly in mediating between Israel and Hamas, especially after Hamas took control of Gaza in 2007. There you go. Egypt continued to play that role in Gaza, particularly in mediating between Israel. Now they're the biggest, they're the ones that are, we'll mediate these guys. We know our Gazans. They all want peace while teaching them war and teaching them to hate Israel. This is all Egypt's fault. Every last bit of it. Israel should be begging the world for forgiveness for what they have created. Egypt also controls the Rafah border crossing. There it is. There it is. And know what they're saying? What we created, the monster, we wanted to blow up now, to have a final freaking blow up to where everybody blames Israel for the problem we have created and we are maintaining. You have bottlenecked the people. Israel had enough. Do you blame them? The primary port of entry and exit for the people and goods between Gaza and the outside world. In conclusion, while Egypt has not conquered or annexed Gaza, it has historically played a major role in administering and influencing the territory. And in the end, it's saying, sorry, but we now need you guys to be the victims of the world and let Israel, while they're trying to weed out Hamas, take out the innocent too, and then we'll figure it out when the smoke clears and there's still Hamas in the room. I hope I'm telling you, Egypt, you got 21 days. You had 21 days from 5 days ago, so that makes 21, 2. We're at what, 16? A little over 2 weeks. Yep. While Egypt has not conquered or annexed Gaza, it has historically played a major role in administering and influencing the territory, particularly during the period of Egyptian military administration from 1948 to 1967. But there's been a major influence since then. Don't kid yourself. Those tunnels were bringing in secret arms by the boatload. This is what Egypt has created. And now they won't open up the borders to the Egyptian mindset of Israel. Now this is the Exodus in reverse for its own people. They should have never have done this in the first place. Israel should have taken over Gaza and it would have been peaceful since then. Egypt has played a major role. Major. Just, you might as well lay all this on Egypt. Every last bit of it. To blame Israel anymore, nah, that ain't gonna work. Nope. Israel ain't gonna take it anymore. That's it. Egypt has to open up their borders and salvage what they've done with less harm to the innocent people of Gaza, to who they have created. One hate-filled society that took it out on the innocent of Israel. Never again, ever again will that happen. Anyway, got 16 days left. This is a message to Sisi and the Egyptian people. We all want peace. And this is the only way you're going to get it. This is the only way we're going to get it. If you show whatever goodness you have in you to right the wrongs of the past, to save an innocent people you have created, the innocent within there, and to allow the psychopaths of Hamas to be eliminated, which you have created. Now is the time. This is the peace treaty. I mean, it's really a shame that it has come down to this, because everybody wants peace. Everybody wants peace. But you cannot have peace in the world unless you have peace in Israel. And you cannot have peace right now without those borders being open. And Egypt accepting back into its country in full, without Hamas, without that mindset surviving, but allow the innocent children, women, and elderly into Egypt. Like I have said, the innocent men will be divided from Hamas, and from there it will be figured out. But for now, every last member of Hamas must not see another day for what they have done. Created by Egypt. And Egypt now bottlenecks them all with hostage. I'm going to call it the Egyptian tunnels. With hostage still in the Egyptian tunnels. And through those tunnels, they've closed them. They've closed the tunnels. Those people have no way to get out of there. Egypt is to blame for all of this. Egypt is to blame. And Hashem knows this. Hashem's very aware. All the major media outlets should be calling on Egypt to open up those gates. The world, the UN should say enough is enough, Egypt. You created this Frankenstein. Israel has to kill it. Allow all the innocent that need to flee it. Open up the gates of Egypt. It's a no-brainer. May Hashem guide us all to a better day. May Egypt wake up to the wrongs it has committed and is still committing. The humanitarian wrongs all lay upon Egypt's head and shoulders and back and body and mind and spirit and soul. Egypt, you must open up those gates for the people. Hamas needs to be eliminated. The land of Israel needs to be made whole and at peace with the world. I hope it happens. We shall see. 16 days to go. Everybody have a good day. And if you can, if you're an influencer out there, for anybody in Egypt, tell them to open up those gates. Thank you very much.